morning. Good morning.
How is everyone? It's not a radical snowstorm. Hallelujah. Look how beautiful it is out there. It's so beautiful. Good morning. Thank you all for coming. I'm Johanna Miller of the Vermont Natural Resources Council. It's so great to see you all here today at this annual event. And yes, I've said to many of you, and you know it's true, it's my favorite work day of the year. This is our 12th annual of these amazing conferences, and we've maxed out capacity for today. Actually, people will be straggling in, which is great. And I am very grateful for it. Looking out at this crowd, all of you committed people doing the hard work in your own lives, in your communities, in your professional careers, and it makes my heart a little lighter and my hopes a little brighter considering what we are facing. So thank you, that is incredibly hopeful. And I think it goes without saying that we know, we're all here because we know what we're facing. The sobering science of the climate crisis that we face, the manifestations of that are here now, all because of our collective addiction to dirty fossil fuels, at the time when we have the clean energy solutions at our fingertips. And that sort of collective reliance on those fuels is changing our climate. And it's manifesting in raging wildfires, in deadly heat waves and oppressive droughts. And in Vermont, it's manifesting in diminished snowfall, including leading to the shuttering of my beloved ski area, Morse Farm Ski Touring Center. You probably heard about Sugarbush also changing its ownership strategy because, in part, of climate change. And it's manifesting in things like every night. In the summer, fall, and spring, I'm like to my daughter, I'm like, tick check. So this is it, and it is different, it is weird, it is wrong, and it doesn't have to be. So, and that's what this day is all about, that's what your work is all about, and more importantly, it's what our collective work is all about, because we have an obligation to do something about it, and a huge opportunity. So the stakes couldn't be higher, and again, that's why we're all here, and why, again, I'm so grateful for each of you, because you all give me hope. You're the doers who are doing things at the local level, working tirelessly, because that's where change happens, at the very local level, including putting pressure at the local level to manifest policy change, which we want to talk a lot about here today, because our individual actions are essential, but our ability to make change will be helped or hindered by state policy and federal policy, but clearly we know that's not an issue, or not an opportunity. So
It's an opportunity.
it's an opportunity in 2020, fall of 2020. So let's make that happen too. But that's not what we're here for today, even though it is all connected. So even after all that we have done and all that Vermont has done, and you'll see a little bit about it when Jared presents momentarily, it's not nearly enough. We have far, far more to do. And again, that's what this day is all about, making bold progress together. So last year at this conference, our 11th annual, I was really hopeful. It was fresh on the heels of the IPCC's really sobering report that essentially said, and we have until 2020 to collectively cut our combustion of fossil fuels or risk the catastrophic consequences of climate change. We were supposed to do that, collectively cut our fossil fuel consumption by half. And then shortly thereafter, the National Climate Assessment came out, surreptitiously dropped on the day after Thanksgiving. But I thought, an analysis by 13 federal agencies mincing no words about the risks of doing nothing to combat climate. I was like, mic drop, this is it. We're getting serious. This is the change. This is the sort of the catalyst, the signal that we need to get serious. And we continue to make progress in our communities. Thank you for all you do. And the legislature took some small but important steps forward. But the response, nothing at the federal level, including remaining singularly alone as the only nation in the world not to be participating in the Paris Climate Accord, as you know. But we didn't make nearly the progress that we need. And so this is it. Like, this is our year. This is the time. And we're going to share with you today some of the pieces of the picture that really do actually make it look incredibly helpful and hopeful. So this is our time to step up and to put the kinds of programmatic and process and policy pieces together to finally move the needle that we need to on climate. It's long overdue. And the good news is that not just those of us here in the room, but Vermonters are hungry for that too. Just this past week, our partners, the Vermont Conservation Voters and VPIRG, commissioned an independent poll, which will soon be publicly available, that showed, among many things, that 76% of Vermonters across the state are worried about global warming. And 61% are very worried. When we asked that exact same question 3 years ago, 35% were very worried. In 3 years, the worried to very worried has increased by 26% in 3 years. So I just want to share that with you as a flavor of the pulse of the people on the ground. I think we feel it. I think individually we know that there's a lot to be worried about. We clearly want to see action. We know about the tremendous economic development opportunity in getting off of the fossil fuels that we import 100% of. So, but doing the work and manifesting the action, that's the harder part. And that's what this day is all about. And more importantly, this day is a catalyst for doing the work that we're going to need to continue to do in our communities at the state level and doing everything we can to bring about the change at the federal level. So, again, we know that there is so much at stake. It is an equity issue. It is a justice issue. It is a travesty if we leave the biggest economic development issue on the table by doing far too little and far too late. So, if we fail to act, other states in the nation will step up and seize the opportunity. So, let's not make that happen. Again, dangerous abdication of science and facts at the federal level. So the onus is on us, it's on states, and we can and must seize the responsibility. So I'm looking forward to working with you all today. We have a great lineup for you today. And before we get started with the substance of the program, I wanted to just run through a few logistics and say a few thank yous. And just wanted to say that, excuse me, first, this conference has been organized by our partners in the Vermont Energy and Climate Action Network, VECAN. As many of you know, VECAN, our mission is to start and support town energy committees in Vermont. About half the towns in Vermont have these community energy committees doing the hard work in their communities, inspiring solutions-oriented energy and money-saving clean energy solutions happening. How many of you are on an energy committee in this room? I love you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of you do. It is tireless, sometimes not very often recognized and rewarded work, but I just want to say deep gratitude from me, from our organizing partners, and our organizing team. VECAN is comprised of my organization, the Vermont Natural Resources Council, Vital Communities, Efficiency Vermont, Energy Action Network, and Net Zero Vermont. And this year, Vermont Council on Rural Development, John Copans, thank you. We are a team who's put this event together, and we are a team who's working hard at the local level in partnership with many of you, and we look forward to continuing to work with you at the local level. So can I ask my organizing partners to stand up and be recognized and say gratitude, Jared, John, Sarah, Ian, Alex. And a huge thank you to my team at the Vermont Natural Resources Council as well, my colleagues Kelsey Gibb and Colin and Stephanie and many others. They're here today. As you may know, we have partnered in the past with UVM Extension, who's been a really important partner for us in hosting this event. This year, they have taken a little bit of a different direction. Mary Peabody has stepped down. BNRC and my team has really stepped up to coordinate this event, working hard on every detail Ian and Alex in particular, I just want to give you a special shout out. Thank you. So thank you all. I also want to say a thank you to many of today's sponsors and supporters. I just want to underscore that our sponsors, the people that you see, the organizations and businesses that you see rotating on this screen, really make this event possible and affordable, which is a goal to bring as many good people like you to this event so that we can get more information, get more inspired, sort of refill our cups as we do the work, really hard work in our communities in the state. So thank you to all of these sponsors. You can find them in the backs of your program, on the back page, and advertisements in the back. A special shout out to our lead sponsors, Green Mountain Power, Efficiency Vermont, Encore Renewable Energy, Norwich Solar Technologies, VSCCU, and Velco. So thank you again to all of our sponsors making this day possible. Please know that the sessions, a few of them, are going to be recorded. Thank you to Bob the green guy. And thank you, Bob, for all you do. And then also that a few of our sessions, we're going to have the opportunity for a question.